And if you do it around supper time, it's like, here, before you sit down, I want you to look at this. Then there's a little more incentive there too. It's amazing what they'll do for food. So we've also given you a clear writing checklist. So as you're creating a document, just a few little tips that you can kind of run through in your mind and go, okay, yeah, I thought about that, missed that, does it work, sort of thing. Just on who your reader is, why you're writing it, how is your document organized, read it out loud, is the tone approachable, is it the tone that you want to set with your document, what's your style of writing, and look at the overall design of the document as well. Is it too crowded? Do you have graphics? And if you're printing with color, is it still readable? Is it something that's going to be photocopied? How's it going to work? Sort of thing. So, can you think of anything else?
Not off the top of my head.
Are there any questions?
Are there guidelines as to identify the length of a sentence, for example, or how long a paragraph should be?
A good length for a sentence is, again, it depends on your audience. Try not to go more than 15 to 20 words. Because once you get to 25 words or so, and you can test this out, like I've done it myself, and it's true, like by the time you get to the end of the sentence, you've lost track of what was at the beginning of the sentence. Because chances are there's more than one idea in there. So if you're writing for the general public or a lower level audience, 12 to 15 is probably a better target.
I find too in a paragraph, 5 lines I find is a pretty good maximum for a paragraph. You can kind of take it in almost at a glance, but more lines than that you starts to look kind of crowded.
Yeah. I mean, remember what we teach our learners in our programs. It's like when they're writing a 5-paragraph essay, each paragraph is one idea. So make sure that you're not cramming 2 and 3 ideas into your paragraphs. Excellent points. Are there any other questions? Okay.
I thought that I have a poster session up right now, and one of the interesting suggestions, which is a good, clear reading suggestion, is that the font that you use in your poster should be readable from 3 feet away, which made sense. Like, okay, that's perfectly sensible.
Yeah. Well, you even think something as simple as somebody has a car sitting out by the road with a for sale sign in it. But as you're going past the road, they've got the for sale sign in it, but the phone number's written that high. How are you supposed to read it when you're going down the road? So it's a whole lot less effective. I've even noticed that on billboards. People pay money for a beautiful billboard, and then it's set back from the road, and the phone number's too short. I've tried 3 times as I'm going past this billboard. I still don't know what the phone number is because it's too small to read. So consider what your medium is and how appropriate is it going to be.
And like you said, with your audience, because I do grant proposals, they expect a certain vocabulary.
Absolutely.
You have to watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just a quick question about the usage of bolding and so forth. So if you want to get a point across, you have your paragraph and there's a couple of points that you really want to be more apparent. Would you bold? Would you bullet?
It would depend on what the points. Bullets are really effective if you've got multiple points. If you're going to highlight, and this is stuff that's expanded much more in a longer workshop. If you want to have a workshop in your area, you have my contact information, email me, I will hook you up. But what's generally recommended for highlighting information is bolding because it does not change the shape of the letters. Underlining sort of attaches them all together. It can get really confusing, especially if you're limited on line spacing. Using shading doesn't always print well, and sometimes people shade it too dark. Italics make the letters really blurry. So you really want to keep things like that in mind. So, okay.
And we have now been given the 1 minute. So
30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So
okay, so
we're done.
before we get the red one, make sure you fill in your evaluation forms. That'll help the OLC. And thank you for spending your last workshop time with us. We know it's tough to come to the last workshop of the last day. So thank you.
Thanks for sticking it out.